sponsored by Fifine Technology. Understand your voice better today by visiting fifinemicrophone.com. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the K683a microphone from Fifine Technologies. I want to give a big shout out to Fifine Technologies for sponsoring this video and it being my first officially sponsored video here on Love Tech. Let's get started. Fifine Technologies, it's a company that I've actually never heard of before, but they reached out to me and they were very gracious to provide me this microphone to review here on the channel for you guys today. Now the K683a microphone retails for $55 and you can pick it up either on Amazon or at fifinemicrophone.com. The microphone itself comes with a stand, a USB 2 to USB A or C cable, which is actually kind of interesting. They kind of thought of the future, sort of, when they were developing this microphone, and it being able to be compatible not only with USB A type ports, but also USB C ports, which are becoming more prevalent on especially laptops nowadays out there on the market, which is super nice. In addition to the stand and the USB cable, the microphone also comes with a stand holder, so you can attach it to a larger microphone stand that would sit on the floor. And then it also comes with a pop filter or windscreen, which is shown here on the front of the box. Let's talk about compatibility now. The Fifine K683a microphone is compatible with Mac, Windows, and also PS4 and PS5 consoles out there, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, it is not compatible with Xbox consoles. Now the K683a microphone comes with a few really nice features on it. Let's talk about those briefly here. The first feature is it has a mute button on it, which is super nice. If you're in game streaming and you need to easily mute your microphone, you can easily do that by just pressing the button on the microphone itself. It also comes with a nice audio input adjustment level knob on it as well. On the underside of the microphone, it comes with a USB 2.0 port that you can again hook up to any Windows, Mac, or PS device, which is super nice. And then also it has a 3.5mm audio reference monitor jack on the back as well, so you can plug in a set of headphones and get almost instantaneous real-time monitoring of your audio, your voice itself going into the microphone and coming back out through your headphones when you have that plugged into the 3.5mm jack on the back of the microphone. Now, one really nice thing about the microphone itself is that it is an all metal body, so this makes it really nice. It's very sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not made of any cheap plastic or anything like that. So the overall build quality on it, again, once we open it up here in a minute, I'll give my first impressions on that, but the overall build quality from what I've been reading and researching on this microphone is actually pretty good for the price point. Again, you're getting an all metal design on the outside of it. There's no plastic parts or anything on the outside, so less to go wrong. It's pretty rugged, so you can throw it in your bag if you're traveling and it will hold up fairly well. Now the microphone itself is a cardioid microphone, which again, if you haven't seen my other video on a microphone I reviewed here on the channel, go check that out. I'll link it up above and down below. But I explained the different types of microphone polarities in that video. A cardioid microphone basically means that it only picks up the sound on the front part of the microphone, the diaphragm of the microphone itself, which is nice for especially streaming or just doing voiceover work and everything like that, or even gaming for that matter. Now, if you want something like an omnidirectional microphone or a bidirectional microphone, which can pick up sound from either all around or on two sides of the microphone, I would probably not recommend this specific model because again, it is only a cardioid microphone. I should also mention that the capsule inside of this is a 16mm capsule. Now, a lot of microphones on the market only start at 14mm, so this will pick up sound a little bit better. The overall quality should be better than some microphones out there on the market. And I would probably recommend this microphone to people that are, wanting to spend around $50. Their budget's around $50, and they need a quick and easy microphone to be able to hook up to their Mac PC or PlayStation device. So for the duration of this video, the K683a microphone, what we're going to do is we're going to unbox it. I'm going to give you my overall impressions of the microphone itself out of the box when setting it up, show you guys how to set it up with your computer, and then we're going to go through a series of sound tests and see kind of what the sound quality is out of this $55 microphone. So overall, the quality of the packaging on the outside, the box itself feels really good on this microphone. I would compare it almost to an iPhone or iPad box from Apple. It is very rigid and it kind of almost looks like an iPad box or iPhone box, kind of like in between, like an iPad mini box, I'd say. It's overall pretty sturdy on the outside. I can, on the inside, hear some stuff shifting around, so I don't know how it's exactly packed on the inside itself, but let's find out, right? So I'm gonna flip it over to its back here, and we're just gonna open it up. It's held together by two like little stickers almost on the back here, so okay. Then we're going to just lift up on the box. There we go. There's the inside of the box here. And inside the box, looks like we have a little bookmark almost, sort of. A bookmark kind of thing about the device itself, just thanking you for your purchase. We have it looks like an instruction manual on how to use the microphone itself. This is the user guide. So let's first take a look at what's in this box. I'm assuming it's kind of some of the accessories that come with the microphone itself. So inside of the box, it looks like we have our USB 2 to USB A or USB C cable. I'll put that aside there. The next thing we have in our box here is, it looks like our flexible kind of stand that the microphone can sit on top of itself. This is very heavy. It's not light by any means, which is actually a good thing. You don't want your microphone, especially if it's all made of metal, to be too top heavy. So my first impressions of the stand seem to be like it's pretty rigid, has rubber feet on the bottom, and yeah, it's very heavy. Seems like it's made out of all metal, which is a good sign. And then down here in the bottom of the box, it looks like we have our pop filter or windscreen. The windscreen itself around the outside is made of all metal. The casing around the windscreen itself is made of plastic, and then we have inside of the windscreen here, it looks like kind of an apparatus to mount or slide this over, held together by some bungees onto the microphone itself. So we have, it looks like a pretty good windscreen quality wise here. So that's good. And we'll just set those accessories kind of aside here. And then inside of our box here is going to be our microphone, I'm assuming. So yes, there it is. I'm gonna take that piece of foam away, and this does look like it's fairly well packed. I think what I was hearing moving around in the box before was the stuff inside of this box itself, which again is the accessory box. So that's a good sign. At least it looks like they packaged the microphone really nicely inside of some nice foam here. I'm gonna take the microphone out itself, and oh yes, that, my friends, is a pretty substantial and heavy microphone. We have on the outside of the microphone, this is all metal. This piece up here is all metal as well. So it is an all metal design. And over here on the back of the microphone, we have our headphone monitoring jack. So you can do live real-time monitoring of your audio as you're talking. And then if we flip the microphone around to the back, we have a threaded adapter here that we can attach either to our little tiny microphone stand here that comes with the K683 microphone, or you can attach this to any regular microphone stand that, you know, sits on the floor, or even another one that sits on your desk, or like one that attaches to your desk for that matter. And over here on the back, we have our audio adjustment gain knob for the microphone itself, how much noise it's going to pick up. Underneath this, we have a LED light that probably signifies when the microphone is plugged into power, and then under here is our mute button to toggle between muting and unmuting the microphone itself. So overall, looks pretty nice. And then on the bottom here, I forgot to mention almost, The bottom part of the microphone here, this is where, again, our USB 2 cable will plug into the microphone itself. So now that we've got the microphone itself unboxed, I'm going to show you guys how to put it together and hook it up to your computer. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're actually going to open up and take out the little microphone stand that is provided. And then on the back here of our microphone, I'm going to actually tighten down this guy here, which will make it so our microphone doesn't wobble when I attach the stand. We're gonna screw the microphone onto its stand here like this. Went on there pretty easily, which is nice. And it looks like you can also keep the microphone on the stand itself when you're not using it, which is nice too. You can fold it down like this, so it will travel pretty well even when the stand is on it, which is it's a nice feature, I would say. Not all microphones can do that, or this portable. And then finally, we have the windscreen that we're gonna put on here. So all you do to attach the windscreen is you pull back the little rubber flap here on the back of the microphone, and that will extend the bungee, and then you just attach it to the microphone. Just slide it over the top of the microphone. Now, the front of the microphone, again, is the part that has the little gain adjustment knob and the mute switch. The back of the microphone is, again, where you'd plug in your monitoring headset if you want to monitor your voice as you're talking in real time. So what we're going to do is we're going to, again, pull back on the rubber flap on the windscreen itself, and we're just going to set this over the top of the microphone like that, let go of that rubber flap, and then your windscreen is successfully attached to the microphone itself. So on the bottom of the microphone is where you're going to plug the USB cable into. So we're just going to plug it in just like that. And we'll flip our microphone back over like that. And now we've successfully set up our microphone. And now what we're going to do is we're going to plug it into our computer. Now on the end of this, you might be wondering, well, why are there two ports or two different types of cables on the end of this specific microphone? Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is because of compatibility. Now, what Fifine wanted to do in this instance was to appeal or appease to a wider range audience, which is super nice in this case. A lot of cables nowadays are starting to transition away from the traditional USB Type A, which again is the bigger cable here on the front, to USB-C, which is much smaller. The advantage of USB-C, there's a lot of advantages, I should mention, to USB-C over USB Type A, but the biggest advantage, other than it being smaller than USB-A, is you can plug it into a USB port either direction. A traditional USB Type A cable, like this one here, you can only plug in one direction. So that is the advantage of using USB-C in a nutshell. Like, that's one of the advantages to using USB-C over USB Type A. So the nice thing here, again, is you have that compatibility. So now that we've shown you how to set up the K683a microphone, talked a little about the features and specs on this microphone itself, let's get to plugging it into the computer, showing you how to set it up with your computer, Mac users in this case, and then finally talk a little bit about doing some audio testing on this device as well and seeing how well does this really perform. Again, the overall design and stability of this seems really great, so I'm excited to see how is it really going to sound. So now I'm back over at my desk, and what we're going to do now is we're going to hook up the K683a microphone to my Mac computer. Now for you guys that are Windows users out there, or if you want to know how to hook this up to a PlayStation device, refer to the owner's manual. The manual has really good step-by-step instructions on how you go about setting it up with other devices, but I'm just going to show you how to set it up with your Mac today. So in my case, we're going to wind up using the USB Type A connection instead of the USB Type C connection to hook it into a USB 3 hub, which I have here on the front of my monitor. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug this guy in, and then we're just going to turn on that USB device. And now you'll see here on the front of the microphone that there is a illuminated green light saying that yes, in fact, the microphone is on and working and is being powered by the USB hub itself. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the mic gain. I'm going to put that up just at 50%, because that sounds like a fairly good number to start our audio microphone test at here. And then down here at the bottom, you'll see the mute button. Let's try that out. So if I press that, you'll notice that the light underneath the microphone gain control knob here actually turns red, signifying that the microphone itself has been muted. If we press that button again, it will bring us back to green, and we know that the microphone is hot and ready to be used. Now for this demonstration, I am not going to put headphones on and do live monitoring on this device. I'm going to go in to Final Cut and show you guys how to record some voiceover for this specific microphone, and then we're going to play those sound clips back, and I want you to kind of put in the comments down below what you think of the overall audio quality of the microphone, and I'll give my impressions here at the end of the video as well. So now once we're into system preferences, into our sound control panel, you can see over on the input menu here, if you're not selected on that by default, go into the input menu here, and you'll see the Fifine K683 microphone has been registered, and you can see the input levels are registering here. If for some reason you do not see input levels registering here, check the gain control knob on the microphone itself, or again, check the input volume slider here on your Mac computer. Now we know that the microphone is working, let's go over to Final Cut Pro and record some audio. So now I've opened up Final Cut Pro. We're going to go into the window drop-down menu, and we're going to go down to record voiceover. This will bring up our record voiceover dialog box here. And under the input option, if this isn't showing for you, click on the advanced option here, and we're going to go down to the Fifine microphone. And for this, we're just going to do the mono channel 1 for recording. And then once we switch over to that, again, you will see the microphone audio level here bouncing a little bit on the input gain. Again, you can adjust the input gain here if you want to make it quieter or softer in Final Cut Pro itself. So now we have the K683a microphone configured in Final Cut Pro. We're going to record some voiceovers here, and put in the comments down below what you think of the recordings. Is the sound quality good, or does it not sound that great at all? Let me know down below, and then at the end of this video, I'll sum it all up and let you know my thoughts on the K683 microphone. For the first audio test, this is the K683a microphone. We're sitting about 6 to 8 inches away from the microphone right now. What do you think of the audio quality? I've now flipped the K683a microphone around 180 degrees away from me. Currently, I'm sitting about 6 to 8 inches away from the microphone. How does the audio sound? Now I'm sitting about 5 feet away from the K683a microphone. How does the audio sound from back here? Now I'm about 10 feet away from the K683a microphone. What do you think of the audio from back here? I know as I get further away from the microphone, the audio will get fainter and won't be quite as clear. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of the audio quality. Now it's time to test the P's and T's of this microphone. How well does the wind or pop screen really work on it? Well, you're about to find out. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. How many pecks of pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? Tenacious tigers twiddled up the tall, tall tree. I was very terrified of the tenacious situation. I'm sitting about 6 to 8 inches away from the K683a microphone. As you'll notice, there's some background music on right now. This is how loud of music I would normally listen to through my studio reference monitors on my desk. The microphone itself is centered between the two speakers. How does the audio sound? Here's how the audio sounds without me talking into the microphone. Now I really cranked the music up. How bad does this really sound right now? How good of a job does the K683a microphone do at limiting noise in an environment around you? Now I want to talk about some pros and cons to the K683a microphone that I saw.
Overall, I thought the sound quality was really good. With a price of only $55, this is a really good microphone if you're wanting to get into podcasting or recording some really nice voiceovers but not wanting to spend a lot of money. The fact that it had a USB-A and USB-C cable all in one cable and is also compatible with PS4 and PS5 consoles makes it really nice and very diverse. So if I want to use this on my Mac, my PC, or my PlayStation console, I can. The fact that it also comes with a pop filter and the stand and quality of the microphone itself are made really well. They're made of all metal and it really overall is good quality. I really like some of the features on the K683a microphone as well, such as having a mute button if you want to be able to mute, say if you're a live stream or playing a game with friends, and also being able to have a headphone jack on the back of it so you can do real-time audio monitoring. For the price, the quality of the actual recordings themselves was pretty good in my mind. It had really good bass and definition and tone to my voice. And it really had good audio limiting when, for instance, I flipped the microphone around in my 180-degree test. The pop screen really worked well when I was using the T-ta-ta-ta functionality. And overall, I think it did a really good job at limiting the mid and highs on the background noise while still being able to have my voice come through really clear. Now moving on to some cons I found in the K683a microphone when I was doing my tests and also doing some additional research on it. The first thing is that it does not have any Xbox support. Considering that Fifine Technologies brought the capability to the K683a microphone for PS4 and PS5 support, and yet for some reason left out Xbox support, really makes me wonder, why did they leave out Xbox support? What happened there? Another con I see with the K683a microphone is that it is only a cardioid microphone, meaning it can only record basically in one direction. You can't get any sort of bidirectional or omnidirectional recordings out of this microphone, so it might not be right for every person in every setting. At times too, I noticed in the recordings that I feel like it could have definitely used some more treble. While the basses and midtones were really good in the recordings overall, I feel like the actual high tones in the recordings or the treble could have been a little bit better. When standing 5 to 10 feet away from the microphone seems to get very echoey and is very hard to hear. But then again, this is pretty much to be expected because of the polarity pattern that this microphone has and being able to pick up sound from all sides of the microphone. Another thing I really wish that Fifine Technologies would include with the K683a microphone is a better pop screen. While the metal one is sufficient in some tests, I've proven that whenever I said any word that began with the letter P, that often this microphone would pick up those and would pick up the noise way too loud, and it sounded like I was blowing into the microphone. So I'd suggest down the road that Fifine Technologies possibly include or modify the windscreen on this device, because again, I really think that if they added some like foam around it or on the inside, that would really help reduce the pop screen effect when you're saying T's and P's. When trying to record with ambient background noise around you, another con I saw to the K683a microphone is the fact that it picked up some really low bass sounds in some of my recordings. While it did a really good job again getting rid of out those high and mid levels from ambient noise in the room, the low frequencies were still there. And with my last test I did on the K683a microphone, with extreme background noise that is, you could definitely hear some audio clipping that occurred because there was just so much sound being absorbed by the microphone. So overall, for the price point, you're paying about $50 to $55 for an all-metal design microphone with a really good I/O and interface with most devices minus Xbox. I would definitely give it probably around a 3.75 to 4 stars on a scale of 1 to 5 stars.
And that does it for another video here on the channel today. I want to thank Fifine Technology again for sending me the K683 microphone to review here on my channel. Overall, I thought the build quality, especially for the price point, was really good, and overall the audio quality I thought was good as well. If you like the video here on the channel today, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Click the subscribe button at the top as well for more great videos coming your way soon. And as always, click the bell to be subscribed to notifications. That way you'll know when I post the latest videos here on LoveTech. I'm also on social media at LoveTech4You, both over on Facebook and Twitter. And if you want to see some great bonus footage here at LoveTech, head over to patreon.com/LoveTech today to see some great bonus material. And as always guys, thanks so much for watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Didn't get enough Love Tech today? Then head over to patreon.com/lovetech to see exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, photos, and projects that I'm working on. Now, enjoy some bonus material from today's episode. Now this device itself is going to be bloobity bloobity blobbity blue. Waiting for that truck to depart. In addition to the USB stand, and you can also even hook it into your PlayStation 4 or 5 console and it will work as well. Unfortunately, it is not compatible with Xbox Series controllers. If you're wanting to angle the microphone, you not only have like a 180-degree pan and swivel kind of the microphone. No, it's not 180 degrees. It's like, yeah, it is kind of 180 degrees. Oh God.